welcome to my YouTube channel, Julia McNeil Crafts. So today is January the 1st of 2021 and I wanted to play in my brand new journal that I made myself, and I have actually already played and done the page. However, when I went to edit it, I accidentally deleted the first couple of clips, so I'm not going to so I'm just going to show you what I did. I really wanted to do a double page spread. So the first thing I did was, so I'm just going to talk you through the first stages, and then we'll join the video as it should be. So this is me now prepping a page for another day. So basically I wanted to do a double page spread. So the first thing I did was took 2 pages out of my 2021 journal that I have just made out of packaging. If you want to see how I made that, I will enter it into the description box below. See, I'm rushing now because I made that mistake and I'm thinking, oh, I've got to fix it. Right, so all I need to do is just pop that down. Right, there we go. So what I did, the first thing I did was I literally just got some washi like this and put it down at the centre of the page, like so. And that's all I'm kind of going to re-show. So we did that, and then we used some Dylusions paint and this indigo blue banana custard. So I put that down first and brushed it all down, and then I gradually added a bit of these two just to build up the background. And the next clip you see will take you from that stage. So I am back. I have dried off my page and cut out my image. I'm trying to remember her name. I know she's from the Love Me Do collection, and I actually drew her a couple of years ago when we went to Brighton for like a long weekend break, and my daughter was playing on the beach because she just loves water and being on the beach. So she was playing on the beach and I sat and sketched her, and the bell, I was like taking different shapes from the pier, the shape of the dome of the pier. So there was different shapes within the pier, and I sort of pieced them together and made the dress. So it's like I really do get inspired from all sorts of places, and one of my favourite things is sort of turning things that shouldn't be clothing into clothing. I don't know, I seem to find that quite fun. Right, so I'm popping a few flowers on here just because obviously we've got the pink in her hair. I am happy with the main colour being that green, but I just want to bring the pink in some places. Now that I may have been better with acrylic and dabbing it in, it might have been stronger. We're going to end up with various tones doing it this way, but we'll go with it. Right, so I'm just bringing, and so that was just purely to bring in the pink from her hair, so that, you know, it might make sense. I might bring some pink splatters in at some point. So I've got another of my favourite washies, which if you watch me, you'll have seen this come into play quite a bit. So I'm just going to stick that on there. I might, oh yeah, put a little bit more, and I'm going to put a bit up the top as well. And we'll see how we go. Sorry if I'm a bit distracted, my phone is buzzing beside me. It's always the way, isn't it, when you're trying to get something done and it's like, oh, I do have it on silent, but I can just sort of hear it vibrating away at the side there. It's putting me off, it's putting me off my pattern. But that's life. I think that's the thing, we're all used to, we all craft in real life. We're all used to these distractions. Right. I'm going to put a little bit up here as well, just because I like doing that. Okay, there we go. Right, and then we shall stick here. I've got some Mod Podge. I'm actually running very low on my gel medium, and I'm waiting for some new stuff to arrive. So in between that time, I'm sort of using up Mod Podge because I'm trying to save the gel medium for for when I absolutely need it, you know, when I'm dealing with heavier embellishments and things. So I'm using a Mod Podge, but again, that just shows use what you have. Don't be put off by, you know, if you're watching somebody else create and you don't have a particular product that they have and you want to create an effect that they have, you don't need all exactly the same things. Just use what you have and go with that. So I sort of inherited quite a bit of, oh, I had meant to edge that first, but I've now got glue on it, but it's fine. I will edge it now with a blending brush, and then I will, by the time I do my shadowing, it'll be fine anyway. It'll have blended in. I'm just needing to grab another brush because there's a few bits that are not quite stuck. So I've got some shabby shutters, and I'm just going to go around and catch the edge of the white where I fussy cut out, and we've got the white border. I do that because my images are quite fussy, but I prefer the look of something looking like it's blended into the page as opposed to the white border. It's personal preference, whatever you prefer, but that's the look I prefer. So just to sort of make it look part of the page a bit more, I tend to just blend the white into a colour that is matching the background. So we'll just pop all of that there. Right, and then let me see, we shall grab a pen, and I'm just going to edge this a little bit. So, oops. I do find it makes a difference when I edge things. And for me as well, I think it does for anybody, it always looks better edged. Because it helps to draw the eye in, but sometimes if you're not quite sure what to do next, I know I find that it's like I get to a stage where it's like, right, okay, I'm liking it, but I'm not quite sure where to go. I find if I start putting my edging in, it helps me to focus because it draws my eye in. It plays the same trick on my eyes as it does anyone else looking in on it. It draws the eye in. So I find by doing that and my eye being drawn in that sometimes I can be like, right, yeah, that's what I want. I'm just going to grab my Jane Davenport pens. Okay, so let's draw a doodly border. So I am using the brush 2 of the Jane Davenport pens, and I'm just going to go around and doodle a little border in and add a few doodles here and there. I actually just realised one of the things I'd wanted to do was I've got some of the lovely Be Crafty planner stamps, which are obviously designed for planners, but they've got the months of the year in, and I had quite fancied stamping the word January into this page, but I'd forgot about doing that. So I'm going to pull that stamp out now, and then we can maybe add that in. Okay, so we've done that. The other thing that I want to do is, let's just add a few little squiggles onto here, because I'd wanted to add some little dangles, but rather than stamp them, I'm going to draw them in, and it was just to give them something a bit more definite to dangle from. So we'll do that, and maybe draw some doodles. Cover a multitude of sins. Never be afraid to doodle in your work. I was always afraid I was going to ruin my work. The biggest tip I give you is try not to be too perfect. I always kind of hold my pen fairly far back, and so you're never going to get a perfect shape by then, but you normally find with a few little, sometimes even if I'm not overly keen on how it's done, a few little extra like squiggly lines, scribbly lines and little random circles, it makes it look like it was meant to be like that, and then a little bit of touch of white pen somewhere, and that can make all the difference. So I'm just colouring that in now, and then I might colour in some of those little circles that I've drawn in as well. Okay. So yeah, I am quite liking how that is going. Let me just grab that stamp that I had made. So these are the stamps here. I'll take them out the bag. Still have a bit, because they're laminated, the sheen will. So we've got all the months of the year, and as I said, they've been designed for planners, which I do plan on putting myself a planner together, because I always seem to have the desire to do a planner and then never seem very good at doing it. So and I thought these stamps would help, but also I love the fact that you've got the months of the year and the days of the week and stuff, because you know, it doesn't just have to be for plannering. So I'm going to pop the word January in a few different places, because this is my very first layout, my very first journal page this year, and yeah, why not? And it also, I do like to add a bit of black stamping anyway. It adds it builds up your contrast, especially when you're using bright colours, that making sure that you have a dark, and so a bit of black and a bit of white somewhere in your layout as well, really does make a difference. So I've used the word January in various places there, which I think works quite well. And we've actually even got, because I was saying the other day that I've kind of stopped, I've kind of forgotten about dating my work. So we've actually got the stuff to put the first here as well. Oh, sorry, I was trying to grab a slightly smaller stamp block. So let's put first in whilst we've got it there. Because yeah, maybe these stamps will help me to remember to date my work. So we've got one, and then I'll get this. There is a special name for that, you know, the st and all of those. I can't remember what they are, but it does actually have a name. I don't know why I'm surprised at that, because most things in life have a name, but January 1st. And should we put in our 2021 as well? Why not? Right, the 2. Right. 20. Yeah. Sorry, hope this isn't too painful. 2. And then 1, which I just used. There we go. So January 1st. There we go. Right, and then in the planner stamps as well, they also have these gorgeous little, I'll put all that away properly, I promise I will. I am not going to lose anything from that set. It's too lovely. They have these sort of little grassy ones as well. So I am just going to add a few of these just at the base near her feet. Just again to ground her a little bit. And then I think we will probably move on to some shadowing. Yeah, just adds a bit of interest by her feet. Because why not? We could put some up there as well, actually. Okay. So we've got that, and then, yeah, just to sort of mirror it up here, I'm going to just put a bit like so. Right, yeah, so Inktense pencil for shadowing, and I think that could be us. So I'm moving on to my shadowing. Whilst I was off camera, I have just put the tiniest amount of gesso underneath her feet there, just purely that we were on washi there. So when it went to do my shadowing, I'm not going to get the same intensity because it's a different surface. So I know if you follow me regularly and regularly watch my videos, you're probably sick to the back teeth of me saying this. So I do apologise for going over it again. Feel free to skip forward. I won't mind. I'll not be offended. If you're new to me, the reason that we do shadowing is it helps to add dimension to your page. It helps, anything has a shadow. So if you just look there, can you see just that line there? You can see how much darker that looks, and that's because my hand is in front of it, so it's creating a shadow. Anything in life that has something in front of it, there will be a shadow behind it. It's just one of those natural things. So one way to really blend your focal image into a page, make it look part of the page, make it belong, is to do shadowing. And as you'll see as well with my shadowing, I'm not necessarily going round the cutout of the shape I've cut out. I'm also going into the paper of the image as well, so that I'm thinking about my focal image and how she's going to stand out. And I personally find this makes a huge difference to my work. I like the effect it does. I realise that it's maybe not for everybody, but as I quite often say, sometimes, I know like when I started out, I would sometimes look at some people's pages and go, oh, why when I do pages or things, do mine not look quite right? And it's only by them sort of explaining why they do something that you're like, oh yeah, that's why. It's up to you then whether you want to take that technique and run with it. If you do, it's great. If you don't like this look, then that's absolutely fine. Don't do it on your journal. Your journal is for you. It's entirely up to you what you do in there. That's the beauty of an art journal, that it's just for you. Unless you choose to share it, it's for no one else's eyes. It's just for you to play, to practice, to learn, to create. So yeah, so that's why I do it. I use an Inktense pencil as well. I need to do something else with my Inktense pencils on this channel. I do have an idea of something to do, but I actually need to get round to. Trouble is, I have more ideas than I do have time. Anywho, I use my Inktense pencil because it gives you the control of a watercolour. At this stage it works like a watercolour. You can blend it out with water and everything, but once it's dry, it's an ink, hence the name Inktense. And it's permanent, so it's not going to budge. You can put water on it later on and it will not move because it's permanent, which makes it great for mixed media like this. And it also makes it great for building up an intensity of colour, because like with a traditional watercolour, as you come in to try and intensify the colour, it starts disappearing because you've activated it with water again. Doesn't happen with these pencils, which is fabulous. So anyway, I am just going to pop you on fast forward as I continue to do this, and I will be back with you when we hit the final stages of this project. So that's all my shadowing done. I did go slightly heavier on this side, and that's because this area here, we've got lighter colourway anyway. So if you were to have light theory, this side would be lighter and this side would be darker. So that's why I just did add a little bit of extra shadowing onto that side. I don't have a bit of paper, but I'm just going to use my bendy cloth for just now. Right, I'm going to get some white splashes on here because I do feel, as I said, having the black and then the white really does make things pop quite a bit. I'm just turning my work because you can see there the splash is quite directional that way, which is cool if that's the look you're wanting, but if you're wanting a more even splatter, I find turning my work makes such a difference. Now I'm just going to, this is easier with a bit of paper, but you know, sometimes you just end up grabbing what's nearby, don't we? Because we just want to get on with it. Okay, so as long as I avoid your face, I'm okay with that. Right, there we go. So I'm just going to allow those little splatters to dry, and then we will get this page into the book. So that's the journal mostly dry. So what we need to do now is we will just pop that there and then chop down the centre where that washi was and separate it back into its 2 pages. I'm not doing the best job of this. It's because I'm aware that I've not been overly patient and let that white splatter dry properly. I'm just going to push that into the edge there. Okay, and we'll do the same with this side, and I will just need to grab my crocodile again. I covered the holes up with the washi, so I just need to find where the holes are and just pop them back in. And because you can see what you're doing, it's absolutely fine. Get them back in the exact right place. Just pop the washi out that side, and then we'll do the same for this side. Oops. Need another cup of tea, I think. That's fine, because what I'm going to do is go and have a cup of tea, edit this video, and get it popped up on the old YouTube channel, because I think it'd be quite nice for this to go up on the first as well. So I've done it on the first, but I think it'd be quite nice for it to go up on the first. So we just need to get our book rings, open them up. Yeah, it's like getting a new diary. Do you know, this is the first year I've not gone out and bought a diary. I think because last year, but it's like, oh, I don't think I put anything in my diary from last year. I think we've got out of the way of it. It's like, yeah, my phone will do for this year. And I'm always normally really excited to write into it and get your brand new book started, and it felt a bit like that with this. So that's me started. Let me just clear the desk a little bit. I can probably just do that whilst I'm talking to you. So yeah, that is our very first page in our 2021 journal, all done using a JMC Design digital image and lots of goodies from the Be Crafty people, their washi, their stamps. Yeah, so I will link to their shop below as well. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me. If you have enjoyed it here, please do consider liking and subscribing, and I will be back with you lovely people again very soon. Okay, take care then, and goodbye.